I still wish I had the clock up here. I don't have to keep going back then. We need another clock. Well, I have to keep looking back there. Get a mirror up here. Get a mirror.
Read it backwards.
You'll figure it out.
Don't worry, the Dollar General will be here shortly. You can get it from
That's not even funny.
there. It is.
Well, considering that the Dollar General is there and there and there.
I think it's ridiculous myself.
Yeah, don't look at the Dollar General.
I think it'll be an empty, in about 7 years, I think there'll be an empty building there.
I'd rather see a mom and pop store.
Well, they'll end up with, you gotta be able to have, make enough money there to keep it open. And you got within 5 miles, all kinds of other places.
See how far you got to put the footers.
I see the machine set, I can figure out what it is.
How are you?
Go sit there.
Turn the outside of your lap, right? Yeah.
All right, session.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
I'd like to start with a little prayer, please. We pray we will be able to work as a team. Give us the wisdom to foresee the needs of our community and make decisions that will best serve our township. Amen.
They're recording, anybody else?
I'm recording. I've had a few people ask since we got new supervisors, they'd love to be able to hear the meetings, but they can't always make it here. So I'll be recording and posting them up.
Public participation. Scott Phillips.
So I don't see any. Did you guys have a road inspection?
Yeah.
Well, we did come
Count.
down, the roads were covered in snow, so we really couldn't do a inspection. We did discuss a couple of priority roads at the moment that we, as soon as we can, we're gonna get on and get those roads taken care of. Once the weather's a little bit better condition, we're gonna take a look at all the roads and get a game plan from there.
Okay.
Kathy, Joan, and
I just, the park isn't on the agenda, so I just want to give, as a community member, a quick update on what's going on with the park. We have several events planned for this year. We have purchased a shed that we'll be using as our concession stand so that we could offer more items and utilize fundraising from the shed. So that will be being delivered and put over at the park. So if you see something going on, that's what it is. And we plan on using it for concession stand. The committee members are we're tired of lugging and hauling tents and grills and all this stuff. So we're gonna put a shed in and use that.
Are you gonna have electric there too?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, very
Yep.
cool.
Yep. So we have multiple events planned. Coming up, March 30th is going to be the egg hunt in the park. And April 14th, June 8th, September 22nd, and October 20th, we're going to have chicken barbecues in the park. June 8th will be our annual park day with the cow pie bingo. July 20th, we're going to do a kids' night in the park, and we are also doing touch a truck. We already have a couple people that have reserved spots for their events. The Bradford County drone will be there. South Creek has responded already that they'll be there. So just trying to get as many different types of trucks or equipment or, I want to say, people to show up and display their equipment so the kids can see it. I think the kids had a great time last summer. A bunch of pictures with different kids in the trucks and in the tank. Not a tank, what was it? The Army truck.
The Hummer.
The Hummer. So we're going to try and do that again. That will be July 20th at 6, and then at 9:30 after Touch a Truck and after Kids Night, we'll have the fireworks. So I just wanted to make everyone aware that's what's going on in the park.
Are you using the same people for fireworks this year as you did last year?
No. We're going local this year. Last year we got in a bind. We wanted to do local, and when we went to the person to see if he could do them, he already had the date that we already advertised for booked. So we booked him a year ahead, so he will be there. It's a local person, I can't remember his name. Dee is in charge of setting that up. So he has his license, has his whatever pyrotechnic license or whatever.
Cool.
All right. So it will be everything. We plan to do everything more local. Like I said, last year it was just we had to get something. So.
Well, better than the year before, where they were a little grumpy.
They were very grumpy. So
Very
that's
expensive last year.
yeah. Last year was a little expensive, but we got it. We got through it. So I just wanted to give an update on the park, and if you hear anything about the Wi-Fi, we would love it, especially now getting the shed. We would love to have more eyes on the park. So if there's any way we can beam us into your system, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been working on that. I was supposed to meet with someone today and they couldn't make it, so hopefully next meeting I'll have an update on getting the Wi-Fi at the park and at the garage too.
Okay, thank you.
Now, is that with Empire Access or?
I was supposed to meet with a gentleman from Empire
Okay.
to discuss with him getting internet over there and, if it would be free to install it. Because usually they will install things for free. And ask him, what the deal is on that. And he couldn't make the meeting. He was supposed to meet me down here at the Township office, and something came up, so he's going to reschedule tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm not going to give up. I've been going, checking all different resources, talking to a lot of people, and hopefully I'll have good news next time.
We're also looking for number 2 gravel, if you guys have any, to put the shed on.
Mike, do we have it?
There's a pile
Well,
of
we
thick
already
dough.
got the 2RC that New Crystal brought,
Isn't there a pile of twos at the dump?
chipstone.
Yeah, number 2 block twos, right?
Yeah, I think there's wash twos there.
Would that work?
Yeah.
How
Is that
much
stuff
would
that's
you
been
need?
there for years
Yeah.
from the township projects?
Probably.
Things from Mayhill and Green
A
Mountain.
foot on all the way.
It was bigger. It was number 2 stone. When the roads really went
15 by
muddy one
26.
spring, they tried to spread number
26.
2s on,
Huh? Would
and
you
it
say
turned into a
26?
mess.
Yeah,
They washboarded it out.
yeah, I think it was left over.
12 by 20.
And we'll check, we got it.
Okay, yeah, it would be, the shed is 10 by 12, but it has to be a foot of ground.
12 by
No,
24.
12 by 24, sorry. So,
Little difference there.
what did you say, 15 by 26?
Well, can you mark it out, Terry?
They want a foot of gravel, just about 12 inches out from the building all the way around, so that would be 26
If it's available, we
by,
Can you mark it? Can you
and
mark
if
it
it's
out?
from somewhere that you're not using, that'd be even better.
Yeah, it's sitting at the dump.
Yeah.
It's been there for
It's been there
years.
for years. That
So, okay, we'll take it. Sold.
All right.
Thank you.
we do it when it's nice, warm weather.
Tomorrow and the next day.
Oh, okay.
That's
I've
it,
got
huh?
the other one already hanging up on my.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to accept the January meeting minutes.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Financial reports. January financial reports. Oh, when you're done.
Oh, I already looked at it
Oh,
before
did
it
you?
started, yeah.
Shame on you. You're supposed to wait.
I'm a slow reader. I'd like to mention while we're doing that, if anybody cannot hear us, let me know, because I can bring a PA system in at our next meeting. So don't hesitate to, after the meeting's over, to say you couldn't hear us. Okay, Mike, you're a wise guy. I'll get you a hearing aid.
I was just gonna say, what did you say? I guess I was too slow.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept the January financial reports.
I'd like to second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Monthly expenses.
Here you go.
That's like 2 months.
It's a novel.
Is there a receipt you said for $2?
82.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's better.
82. Yeah.
I was afraid we were spending too little.
No, it's all small. Mostly truck upkeep, I think. Mostly from Bradfield Supply, 200, 300,
Well, that makes me feel better.
128.
Quite a bit, it's the Granite Mac.
Yeah.
Wow.
Volvo tires, that's 48, 44. There's a new 10 of them. $252. Ford Automotive. Timberland West, 369. Oil filters, air filters. Air filters for the Volvo. Chains and chain links. EMF. Gas pipe. Actually, wore out of gas pipe.
I was gonna say, how do you,
Probably rusted off.
No, you don't wear it out, that's what tells the computer, the computerized. When you push on the pedal, it wouldn't do nothing. Really sluggish.
you just gotta hit it harder.
Problem with this new stuff is all computerized.
Just hit it harder.
Is the Freightliner regen like it
Yep,
did? Okay.
yeah, Parnell pushed the button on the dash and got it to regen.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. A lot of that's for that granite when they blew the hub there.
Yeah.
It wasn't put together right. Whoever had their fingers in it before,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't put the two nuts on the outside, there was only one.
All that's for the ground.
Yeah.
Dirt. $100. $60. 52 cents. All right. I'd like to make a motion to pay the monthly expenses.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Fund transfers. I'd like to make a motion to transfer $25,000 from the ARP account to payroll.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Township reports and updates, ordinance enforcement.
Yeah, so this is Scott Green, he's the new ordinance officer we have. We're gonna be going through and taking a look at our ordinances. There's some things that are outdated that need to be updated. Definitely some things that need to be taken care of around the township as well, so.
Welcome.
Alrighty. Looks good. Road crew summary, Mike.
What's up?
What you doing? Plowing snow and digging ditches.
Well, plowing snow, working on trucks, we started on Green Mountain the last couple of days. Got out past Earl's farm. And I like to just keep going there since the week's gonna be nice, and then after that, we can move wherever, going to go to Sealy Lane and Klaus Lane, I know you talked about them.
Now, that's cleaning ditches or?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, cleaning ditches and.
Alrighty.
What are you,
Doing the summer.
what's the difference? I mean, it seems to be, now that it's dried out some, the cinders you put down, really dusty.
It's the same we've always used.
It's mostly sand and gravel. It's not really a whole.
I was just curious, because it is, I feel like
It's got one B's, that's what the stone is.
I was
Cinders
just,
should break up, I mean, what you're seeing is the one B's, and cinders do get really dusty when you pile them out here.
well, I was just curious because it just seems like, I was like, wow, I'm living on a dirt road now.
There's a lot of Mayhill, especially in that stretch due to the school buses.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of snow events in January.
Yeah,
so-
I understand that. I'm used to that. It just seems there's a lot more dust this year than some years.
A lot more skid on there probably than previous.
Yeah, it was red for
Yeah.
a while.
Green Mountain has a new shoulder.
All right, fire department report.
All right. First question I have is, did you receive the treasurer's report from Bill Hilliard?
Yeah, I have it. Did you, or you get it?
No, I just want to make sure you got it,
Okay.
because it was discussed and.
Yeah, I have it in here. I thought that was what we were doing for the report. But that's okay. You can do it.
No, we want to give an update and I want to make sure, I know that probably there's been a gap in receiving monthly reports. Some of the systems changed. We're getting back to where we're understanding the automated system again. We'll try to get them emailed because I can't make every meeting.
Right.
You're okay with that?
Yep.
Email needs to. All right, so I could sum it up with last year's annual report. We had 131 calls. That's up about 55 calls from previous years. In the last year, we've sold our tanker, which you may be aware of, may not. And we now have a squad, we're supporting QRS to help support the EMS side as they have calls. We have 22 active members, which within the county is really awesome. But our average per call is 6 to 8 numbers. So to put it in perspective, for
That's
those
all
of
you get for a call.
What's that?
That's all you get at one call, 6 to 8 people.
6 to 8.
Right, yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I
so to
said.
put it in perspective, the Gary Wood fire was a significant event. Last year we had, I'm sorry, I didn't look it up till just now. 7 like that events. So out of the 131, I consider those significant events. We ended up calling in 9 mutual aid departments to support us because I drove from the valley to the scene, and we had 3 guys who could put an air pack on. That's all the guys available. All the other 9 departments, 4 showed up and didn't have any guys who could put air packs on. It's become a major issue, and I'm not going to speak on behalf of EMS, but I can assure you the reason why we're doing QR is because they are struggling to find help. So part of the report that I have is to discuss or ask for an opportunity to either, I know you can't have a private meeting, but have an opportunity to work with the supervisors utilizing Act 172. It is used throughout the state. I'm familiar with a few places that use it.
What is it?
Act 172 is called the Health and Safety Incentive for Municipal Volunteers and Nonprofit Emergency Medical Services Agencies. So it provides an opportunity of tax relief to your volunteers, which sounds great, but there's a lot of criteria. And when I say that, that's 1, 2, 3, 5 pages of criteria. You don't just say, okay, we're going to enact 172. It's not that simple. That's why I've prefaced this with, we'd like to discuss this. We'd like to, I don't think today's not the time or the place for this meeting. It takes time to develop. It's not something you turn off and on like a light switch. The goal from this would be to get others to help. But to do that, you have to put together a well-established program with checks and balances. Because anybody can sign up to be a volunteer, but that doesn't mean you're doing anything to support it. And if there's any willingness and consideration to discuss Act 172, I'd like to make sure it's robust. That's one item that I'm not asking for any votes. I'd like you guys to consider. If you would consider it amongst yourselves, let us know. We would love to sit down with you and help build this criteria and how it works.
Does anyone else in the area use that? If we need it, like if you wanted, if they had questions or?
I'm not familiar with anybody.
I didn't hear about anyone else, but I didn't know if.
Well, we've started gathering some information.
Oh, you've heard that? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
When Luke and Ava went to training, they found out that Cumberland County actually does it.
Correct.
And you talked to one of the commissioners?
Yeah, I talked to Commissioner Gates to approach him about the idea, and the commissioners are actually already working on it. So they're doing something countywide. What you'd be referring to would be more of a local.
You can do it either way, based on the way this reads. I was familiar with Cumberland. I knew an instructor from there. That's how I know anything about it.
It's pretty similar, right?
It is.
Yeah. It almost looked the same.
The only difference is you have to, as a group, build the criteria, establish what are, tax relief is great. Well, I'll give you $1 off. Okay, great. But what is the incentive? And that has to be something either at county level or township level, the supervisors establish. So I'm glad to hear that. I wasn't aware that the commissioners were discussing it. I'm not surprised because I know that within our county, us seeing 6 people show up on a major working fire is not uncommon. If you read the news or you follow FireWire, you'll start to see when a department goes out for a major call, 4 or 5 or more departments are going right along with them just to get the people. We sold our tanker, not because I don't think there's a need, because I was not a huge fan of selling it. We don't have anybody to drive it.
Oh, we didn't get a replacement?
Why? So we could sit there and lock up?
I don't.
No, I don't have drivers. So, plain and simple.
That's one, I don't know what's going on.
I understand. So, again, I'm asking for you guys to consider it. Thank you that you already are. I don't know the last time, and I think this goes back in, maybe you can remember, that we discussed a millage increase for the fire tax, and/or gas impact fee. Not asking for a specific amount, and asking for consideration of one or both, or whatever we might get. But I know that as you work through the year, once that's announced, any consideration would be greatly appreciated, because I can assure you one thing, it's getting more and more expensive to run that operation. Again, those are the primary things I want to cover in the fire report, is the Act 172 consideration of the gas impact fee, and the millage increase.
Discuss that. Time to meet with them and forward with them. You want the directors involved
I'm sorry.
to discuss all of this?
I
the
think that
village
they should
and,
be. Yes, so if it's something that you guys are willing to consider, I think that that's the next step.
Did the commissioner give you any kind of idea, like where they were at with it?
He did not. He just had told me they had, someone had contacted him a couple weeks ago, so they were already looking into it, so.
Because I know it's something that has to be put in place the previous year, and then it
Yes.
goes into effect the next
That's why I
year.
said this isn't something you guys are gonna
Yeah.
throw in this year. Now, this takes, and I'd like to see it done right,
Right.
and
We don't want to do it and have it be a headache for everybody down the road.
correct. I want it to have some teeth where it's meaningful, but yet sensible as well.
Terry, with the directors of the ambulance association. The directors of the ambulance association, would you guys be able to attend that type of meeting as well?
And we are contracted by
Now, just, if the county enacts something, and about the same time the local is doing, does one override the other? Do they both work hand in hand? I mean,
No, our taxes are separate from county.
Well, no, it depends on what tax you're talking about. If
Well,
you're talking about the
I
millage,
mean, they
that's
get to,
different.
they get to bigger portions.
I was just curious, it's like, are you wasting time if they're gonna do it at county level, or or if the county does it and you guys do it, it's actually gonna work in tandem and make things better?
Well, I think if the
Somewhat.
county does it, then I think the township would have to do something.
You'd have to modify, if you make a motion, I believe, and don't hold me to this, I'm just trying to remember what I read. I believe it may negate what you have in place, but I don't know. And I wouldn't put a whole lot of weight on our county.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you wait for the county, we'll be
You're
waiting.
waiting a while.
But
Right.
if we take the initiative and
Yeah,
start
it may-
talking about it,
It may
maybe
spread
other
some-
companies
spawn
would.
something.
And
I think you're 100% right.
like, if you build it, they will come. If we start it,
Right.
and if more companies start it, then the county will see, let's get in gear here and let's get something done.
The county may be looking into it, but they may not decide to do nothing with that.
Yeah.
Just do a little research and then kick it down the hall.
We could actually be first in something instead of last.
It's an opportunity.
Alrighty. Okay, so correspondence and communication, none. Old business. Retirement plan.
We discussed that on February 17th, correct?
We did.
You might want to announce that now.
Okay, alright, so February 17th, we're gonna have a executive session at 11 a.m. and go over the personnel policy, mainly. Some things we want to change and some things we want to start. So we'll do that on February the 17th. All right. New business, material bids.
You could decide what you're gonna put out for now, and then you can just make motions to advertise.
Usually it's about 5,000 tons.
The last couple of years, you did a range 5 to 8,000. Mike's here, I mean, did you, any idea at all? Like,
Probably need all of 8.
If we stockpile it, I mean, it's not gonna hurt anything to happen.
Go 8 to 10.
You don't have to take it that way. You can do 5 to 8 or 5 to.
you're more comfortable at 5 to 8 or 8 to 10?
Oh, you can always stockpile it. It can be harder too.
So it's an election year, everything's just gonna increase in price. And with everything coming up in the fall,
Right.
it might be better off getting it and stockpiling it now at the cost instead of waiting, which,
You guys might go up next year. I think.
or even, yeah, I
Well, I
mean,
mean,
This
it'll
year it's go up even more. I don't
Yeah.
know.
If they're gonna use that, we have another 2.
Right. I mean, we'll use it. We'll just do 8 to 10. You want to do PennDOT approved and or what was the other?
Dirt and gravel specs.
Dirt and gravel specs, yes.
And then approved or dirt gravel specs?
Now, is that going to be asking for tailgate price and,
Yes.
delivered?
Tailgate and
Tailgate,
as you.
stockpile and delivered, or picked up, right?
Yep.
And-
So you make a motion to advertise that.
Okay, so I'd like to advertise to make material bids 8 to 10,000 tons, PennDOT approved, and or dirt and gravel approved DSA.
Like a second motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you need to spell out in the motion that it was for the 3 different, tailgate, stockpile, or pickup?
No, that's just,
Okay,
that's just information for the bid package.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're doing that good.
All right. Donations.
I would like to make a couple of donation motions. My first motion would be, I'd like to make a donation of $10,000 to the Ridgebury Township Volunteer Fire Department from the impact fee account.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye. And I'd also like to make a motion to donate $2,500 to the Tri-Township Ridgebury Division Ambulance from the impact fee account.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. And I'd also like to make a motion to donate $2,500 to the Ridgebury Park Committee from the impact fee account.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Did we do the fund transfers?
Yeah, I should have come to the meeting sooner.
It's not because you came.
I told you, Jeff, that you're much.
Tell him it's because he came.
Jeff, I told you you're prettier than the last one.
I said, I take that as a compliment.
All right, roller. We're still discussing roller, or we want to vote on
You want a quote?
What's up with the roller?
it? Well, we're in need of a new one. Ours is in pretty rough shape, has been for a while. We've been talking about it for quite some time.
Can't get parts for it.
Couldn't hardly get parts for. You got a
Seat's
pretty
broken, yeah.
good offer for a trade-in.
All the jobs leg in.
It's gonna continue to keep costing us money, so, and it's a 1991, so.
Is this what we wanted the trailer for?
No, that's
No.
the excavator.
Well, they were gonna,
Both.
that was the plan, to move the roller.
Trailer and or roller. We've always said that we needed a trailer for the roller too.
What are we doing with the trailer, anything?
Nothing yet,
Okay.
We're still looking.
still looking.
See if they'll kick a trailer in with the purchase of a new roller.
I doubt it.
Buy one.
Hey, wasn't one of those places, weren't they looking into that?
Well, Stevens equipment to do it, they got used one laying around, they'll throw it in, but not a new one usually.
That was one of the used rollers?
Well,
No,
maybe,
Stevens equipment, they give you a brand new bowl mag,
Oh,
price for a bowl mag.
okay, never mind.
Right.
But they got
send Jeff over there, maybe he can sweet talk you.
But they got a used trailer in, so they threw it in the deal for, Erickville.
Vote on this now then?
I mean, we're going up, I suppose.
Right.
I have to do something.
Okay, so make a motion to buy a new Caterpillar roller for the sum of $166,900. They're giving us 15 grand trade-in for ours, so that'll be the selling price.
Just pay that out of the impact.
Impact fee money.
Is that a cab or open?
Okay.
Yeah,
Good deal. Good for you being.
I second that motion.
All in favor? Aye.
How are we gonna move it?
Well, they'll deliver it.
So once it's
She means from
delivered,
one
We're,
location to another.
we're working on a trailer too. I mean, right now we drive it. So, I mean, you can do the same, but hopefully we'll have a trailer before summer.
To start with, when we go to do our roads, we're gonna try to work it with the road, so you're not, you're driving it as you're rolling the road, so, but definitely getting a trailer within the next couple of months will be.
When did we buy that roller?
91?
Yeah.
We bought it, Brendan?
No.
I was saying, I don't.
It was used.
Oh, it was you?
Yeah,
Cause
it was used.
I wanna say it was like 98 or 90, or is it?
I'm thinking 2000, but I'm not.
It might be.
100% sure. I feel like I saw 2000 or 2001.
Yeah. 'Cause I remember the discussion to buy it, so. It's still new to me.
Well, they didn't have one before that.
I know that. Yeah, that was the whole thing. They had about 3 months of discussion on whether we needed a roller, what use it would be, why do it.
A lot of townships don't.
Yeah.
They just road trucks and drive them down the road.
And why you need one that big is for dirt, if you do a dirt and gravel class, it's gotta be so much weight or they won't, you gotta rent one. This way you got it, so if you do decide to.
Oh, I'm not arguing. I remember when the argument and discussion for months when we got the one we have now.
In the case tractor, I've tried calling, I don't know if you got a hold of anybody up there about that tractor, they won't return my phone calls to see if the cables are in for that tractor over there, so.
They ever come down and service it after they did the transmission replace?
He came down and looked
that
at
was when
it,
they found out the cables.
he said he thinks the cables are stretched, why it won't go in gear. They're supposed to order new cables, that was, what, Tammy, 2 months ago?
Well, we haven't been able to use it since we got
Since
it
we got it
back.
back from, yeah.
Can't you get your money back for that tractor, so you take it home with you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
they
wish it
keep
was-
they keep sending me emails trying to sell more equipment.
Yeah, well,
I'm
yeah.
like, where's the tractor?
You've had that for what, 2 years?
Yeah.
I
And
think
it was a
so.
Hasn't
recall
done a
on the
whole lot of
transmission.
anything. Even Danny Janowski didn't do any damage to it, but, right, Dan?
No,
That was a good tractor for him.
you just had to make sure you pushed it all the way over to one side or the other to shift it, or it would not lock up.
Did we sell that truck that was sitting over here?
No,
No,
we've used that truck this winter
I actually decided to keep
a
it.
lot.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, we used it when Mac
So
was
it kind of
down.
worked out.
okay.
Subdivision Harding.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, I looked at this before.
What is this for?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so they're subdividing the fields across the road for the Dollar General. So we just have to acknowledge that we have seen it and approve it. So I'll make a motion to approve subdivision for Harding.
Second that one.
All in favor?
So I have a question about the Dollar General. Driving nuts. How is that going to benefit our community?
How is it?
Yeah, is it going to help with the taxes?
Oh, yeah.
It will.
It'll raise them.
Well, we don't have zoning, so we can't really stop.
Actually, that's not a true statement. Zoning means you'd have to put it somewhere. You can't stop it with zoning.
You can't stop it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, with zoning, you just have to make a place for it. There'd be a place for everything, including adult bookstores and pigsties.
Place could be,
Also, it's probably gonna provide jobs. I mean, people are gonna have to work there. People are gonna have to run it. Some local people do contract, like Mike Henry does all the plumbing and HVAC work on all the Dollar Generals.
It'll help tax base. I
Yeah,
mean,
we'll get
that commercial property is, even though we don't have zoning, there is pretty significant tax.
It might slow the traffic down too.
No. Only when someone gets T-bone coming out of there, it'll slow it down for a minute.
Who's running records in this area now?
the police someplace to sit other than our park. Holding tank cleaning contract, Snyder. We have to approve this one.
Yeah,
Now, is this for High Street or Pelton?
Doty Road. Just a holding tank, somebody's adding on.
Oh, okay.
An existing system. I'll make a motion to approve holding tank cleaning contract for Snyder.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next one is BC sanitation component, Bentley Creek Dollar General.
Yeah, heavy. Look.
I didn't know that. So this is the sanitation for the Dollar General. I'll make a motion to approve BC sanitation for Bentley Creek Dollar
So
General.
they already did, that's the study, they already did the study?
Yeah, the county does all of that.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
We've got a BC Department, Community Planning, Mapping, Land Development, Bentley Creek Dollar General. It's all part of the same. Fold all that.
You want to touch it?
I'll make a motion to pass the mapping land development for Dollar General.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very enthusiastic about that, Dollar General.
Lot to it.
And I'd like to add something to new business. I'd like to make a motion to replace the rug. When you first come in the entranceway, it's a hazard. I mean, you can trip on it, if you walk out and it's coming over.
That just happened today.
I would like to make that motion to replace that entrance rug.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Does that need to be bid out?
Laughing at me?
It may have to. We'll even glue it.
I'm not sure what kind of rug.
That's what Jerry
Yeah,
went
it's
down.
got the tape on it and everything else.
If you have to clear it out for bid, it'll be a really nice one.
Kevin, I would do it.
Alrighty. That's it. All said, all done.
Hey,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta-
I have
Go
a
ahead.
couple questions, my name didn't get put on the list. Number one, do we need an approval to have an inspection station on Green Mountain?
Not for long.
And another thing, do I have permission to sweep the road up by my house? For number one, my windshield got broke. For number two, I'm getting a lot of dust in my house.
No, you don't need an approval from us. I don't care if you do.
I think you gotta, you-
Sweep the road.
I
if you
mean,
wanna sweep the road, you gotta talk to that guy right there.
I ain't gonna talk to
We
him.
were gonna have him sweep the roads, however, with the tractor being down.
Right,
for
I
a sweeper,
understand that,
so-
but I can do it myself, right?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Nothing says we can.
I mean, I can't get arrested for that, right?
No.
Okay.
There's two tractors.
I make a motion, she blacktops that section up there.
If I had the township money, I could do that. But then they pay these guys over here, see?
I like that idea.
Alright,
Especially this one here.
meeting's adjourned.